Family, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever on a day. And welcome to the program, a special broadcast tonight. We will look at the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. But before I go further, I want to listen to this music first, so they play in the background. Yes, hello. I need to make a disclaimer first of all. Afro National, the song of the year. This platform does not own the copyright to the song. The song was played purposefully for entertainment and educational purpose. Famunem, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening once more. And welcome to the program. Today we're an exclusive. Today on the platform we look at the ACC Commissioner. Is Francis Ben Kaifala a hero or a villain? Famunem, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Me, now my brother, and host and presenter, co-host and presenter of this particular program today, Mohamed Kamal Komoni known as Supermed. And today on Sunday, the 21st of March 2021. As soon as they see a day in the studio with me, CEO and founder of this platform, Mr. Prince Emil Kuma, we go co-host this particular program. This is an exclusive program where we get where they look at the Anti-Corruption Commissioner and a calling program. So I get for giving the number them way for calling. Una calls them, una comments them, and everything welcome. Una feel free for calling. If you don't want to give a name, una can get a pseudonym. All that is welcome. because one gets a discussion, any conversation begin. You know, Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala, now the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, I know say most of you know that. And we don't see plenty developments around the fight against corruption in our country. So don't decide, so don't make a program where una say na your comments go be appreciated. Where you wait on your views in relation to the fight against corruption in our country. And as we go along today, we'll play some videos them back where now videos them where people them in governance now this current administration, the President Malabi in government, statements that people them don't make. We're very relevant to the conversation. So now watch out today now a new formation we don't create. Because a nice one I hear from the Aussies mouth themselves. So ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further again, I want urge you again, please allow me to share this program. This program is a record-breaking program, the first of its kind. The production is completely unique, and the topic gets a very important. So now get plenty Sierra Leoneans who will watch this program live. So now begin for share the program immediately, because like what I say no more, the program will look at Mr. Ben Kaifala himself, the Anti-Corruption Commissioner in commission, and all waiting not happen there. Because there are many developments we don't see. And again, it's very important, family, now we focus on this. Because the fight against corruption is very important. We're not going to be able to develop infrastructure if corruption boku na we country. We're not going to get better education in that country if corruption boku na we country. We're not going to create plenty employment for people if corruption boku na we country. We're not going to get a proper or good healthcare system now we country if corruption boku na we country. So even the bread and butter issue, when they talk about the economy, it's not going to navigate if corruption boku na we country. So this is a very relevant topic. So the post where they spearhead the fight against corruption in our country, now Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala himself. Now he make we need for debate that issue there so. We need for getting conversation there so. Let people see, talk. It don't do it now nearly 3 years. The work we don't do, if the work effective, we don't see where Brinkan checks them. He said they don't collect over 20 billion. Well, most of you welcome. Although we were baffled, we don't know the people we pay. And not say we let them pay. Because again, the fight against corruption is very important. Not no say, na perception. Na perception. And things that don't happen plenty one. Many things that don't happen. We know what happened from the onset of this government when they can like governance. When they make that GTT report, say they set up the commission of inquiry, conclusion of farm, and all the other things that don't happen. So this question is very relevant, ladies and gentlemen. Let us share. Mr. Prince Emil Kroma, I want to like answer this as I build up this particular narrative in terms of the anti-corruption fight now we country. And the statements where people don't make, well, this current administration we don't make. But again, I want to zoom out to the people and check them where the anti-corruption commissioner say it don't hand over to the president. At the end of the belief, the conviction is that because we don't know that they pay, because it's also very important. Whether you take on that particular old saga there, the check them, we don't know that they pay the money. Do you think that is the appropriate way for go about them? And what are your overall view in terms of how the fight against corruption develop for Musa Ikomot? Say to also the day so now they like today.
Yes, Superman, many thanks. I think without any doubt, a very relevant question. But before I touch on them, from your own perspective, make I just tell Fambulem a warm greetings coming to now from the Then and Now platform. Today, the 21st of March, 2021. Me, na the other co-host for this particular program here tonight, Prince Emil Kroma. And I want to say a big welcome to everybody. The national convention is on, and we have to be a participant, not an observer of some sort. In other words, we need to be proactive. We need to be proactive in the conversation because we country now 30 and in the council in a few days' time when they fire the first bullets in Bumaru, we erupted into a civil war. Out of that civil war, the ashes of a civil war, the suffering of the people, the death of the people and the hacking of limbs of the people. And today here we find ourselves, I think we don't get 4 or 5 democratic elections. But today we will talk about a very important figure, a very significant figure na the conversation right now. Like Mr. Mohammed Kamara said, none other but Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala, and for go straight to the question where the brother asked. The idea of corruption is now for hold a process or a people or an entity accountable and expose issues that are not kind of transparent. So again, for address the question what you ask, now for whole entities, institutions, people accountable for lack of transparency. So if the current ACC boss, they receive money the way that they pay as a consequence of in action the way they take for Fed corruption, then they say money, then they come out openly. They come out openly for tell the Sierra Leonean people as to who that pay money and how much they pay and when they pay and how they pay and what they pay for. Then of course, that in itself is a questionable thing. It's a questionable thing in the fight against corruption, because you cannot be tasked with the action for Fed corruption and then waiting embody that task they now for expose corrupt practices. And corruption come with no invariants, different forms, different facets. We know that. So the idea itself not being transparent in your transactions to the people from whom you derive your power from is in itself a corrupt practice and not a help. And in fact, it only the help for raise questions and suspicions as to waiting exactly you they up to. So Fambulem, as we say today, it's a calling program, and we expect few callers. We expect say people and go pick up the phone and call and register your opinion. Waiting you feel about the ACC. It's your feelings. Nobody need to design your feelings for you. Nobody not go rebuke you because of your feelings where you get, your opinion where you get, your view where you get on an issue of national relevance. So it go fine for you pick up the phone and then you call. Pretty soon we will put the phone numbers then at the platform and Superman will read the numbers for we so that we understand. Call and let's have a conversation. It is quite necessary. Don't be fear for rebuke. Nobody not get for rebuke you, not on this platform, and stop hiding behind shadows to have the conversation to the general public for the betterment of for the general public is quite a necessary thing for let we do. This in itself is a good process, it's a good practice, it's accountable, is open and transparent. And if we seriously intend for Fed corruption, I think say these are some of the things the way we suppose for they do. So Superman, I don't know whether you get anything else for add before I come in next.
Yes, thank you very much, Brother Prince Koma. I just want give a background to Mr. Ben Kaifala in terms of the thing and the great thing that happened in the fight against corruption. Because I want to go back to one of the most prominent cases where be happened, because we all know say where Mr. Ben Kaifala came before, there was a talk say that they look into the previous administration of former President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma and so many things them, or previous officials them, and so on and so forth. Up to now, not get a proper account of what's really transpire, what's happened, what's in the investigation, what's in investigation they bore out. We don't know. But one of the other things I want to go family attention to, now one big investigation will be take place where the Chinese them be supplied with rice. This guys and give them so that we will feed the picking in a school. And Mr. Ben Kaifala himself came up and said, over 40-something thousand bags of that rice there. One minister, when a minister says, in fact, now current minister now, now in thief that rice there. So we see that case, and the minister was suspended, which everybody, applaud. So, well, if this, they don't call up any allegation, then for suspending for spending investigation. And the investigation went on, and Mr. Ben Kaifala himself, the corner studio talk and say, then get overwhelming evidence. Again, don't forget 40-something thousand bags of rice, not just something possible go hide in a room. For transport, I say we need more than 100 trucks for transport am. So he say they don't catch live evidence, all kinds of things be there. So it went on and on and on and on. Then suddenly we know say that case go to court. Mr. Ben Kaifala refused for provide the evidence because he say the case, the judge, he put up judge and jury. He no want judge and jury case. He want that the judge no more. But many people, we are confused, we are dismayed, we are shocked. Because they say this kind of case where you say get overwhelming evidence. Don't you think say the jury and say we will walk them out if you present the evidence before the people then 30 days arrested, nobody no account for them. And 30 days, the minister saw them is suspended, they don't reinstate them back. So if you think about the money so when the state don't spend for prepare the case, let alone the loss of over 40-something-thousand bags of rice, we get serious consequence for them picking the way they go school and small picking them, go for benefits. But that good gesture the way the Chinese government give we. So many people were baffled. Say, well, Mr. Ben Kaifala way ready for fed corruption. How comes big case like this go for both, go free? You know, that now one take that one the way I always want to go back to. Because to me, that particular case can be landmark. That particular case for we don't set an example, but it never happened. And Fambulem, I want to call on give my own opinion. Let give the numbers them anyway. The numbers them for call now 077 40 107 250. Again 077 40 107 250 or 079 513 77568. 079 513 77568 or 07 43 200 2628. 07 43 200 2628. Now the number they are for call. So I want to take them down. Or when they call the number, they repeat them as how the program they go. But very important. This is not just one aspect of waiting not happen when a big landmark case where many people were not very sure what's happening. So many people then confidence begin to down a little bit, say, wow, how can this case go both, just go like that? And now subsequently we don't see that people case them back. But go company, Mr. Prince Emikoma, from that particular angle, does that give the people confidence, or what do you think from that case they're going forward in terms of the Anti-Corruption Commissioner?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed Supermed Kamara, and for calling out the numbers where Fambulen can use for call tonight. We just don't put them back on the screen there. So you can either call via WhatsApp or you can call directly depending on whose side you call from or whose mode you want to use for a call. On the issue of the current ACC boss, there are many questions about the actions the way he don't take over the last almost 3 years since he was appointed by the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Dr. Julius Madabio, retired brigadier. There are many questions for let this ACC boss answer, and this is very, very serious. This is quite relevant because, again, if you say you prosecute criminal cases, if you say you prosecute corruption or corrupt acts, and then things in the way you do are in good faith, and if for bother, just for go forward, I want to say something to Fambulem. So publicly, when Mr. Ben Kaifala earlier on begin for prosecute these cases, when he begin for make them pronouncements and they are still getting on my desk, it's still there on my live video feed them, it's still there on my Facebook page, Fambulem can go there and go see when I posted them because they were so relevant. Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala say, it doesn't really matter. Wherever the fight against corruption taken, and the reporter will be asking, and this is a quote, because they try for asking whether there will be restrictions. And he said, no, wherever the fight against corruption taken, regardless of who that it be, whether or not in boss or person with employer, it will still go against that person there. He made several fine quotations. Another prominent one we make was the fight against corruption is a holy war. I know they ever forget that. We get for looking within the context of holy war. Now, so Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala say, and him along with the current presidency, this is a war that we have to win, a war against corruption, which sounded good because after all, now on the back of them pronouncements today, this is how President Bio came to power with the Sierra Leone People's Party and the appointment of Mr. Ben Kaifala with the hope that he will be independent. So I'm not here to make the judgment, but for make the case alongside with you, that these are the things that will happen along the way, like one of them we just mentioned. We'll talk about a few others during this conversation. 49,000 bags of rice got missing. To this day, there are still questions about those 49,000 bags. And family, waiting interesting and important on this conversation, on 49,000 bags of rice, we need for revisit with the current ACC boss theory regarding them bags of rice here, and the case would have been involved in waiting for due, just like Mr. Mohamed Kamal just outlined, because now case we're going to court, now case where Francis Ben Kaifala look into, now case where he even tell we in view and from a legal perspective, only for change going forward. So Salon people they want to know what happened in between. There was a point when he tell me, he say, he know inside the bag of rice then day. And this not to just light commodity or thing the way they fit inside your pocket. When they talk about tangible, solid material goods them. Now when they talk about bags of rice. Salon people are no strangers to rice, much more bag rice. 49,000 of them got spirited away, and to this day, Sierra Leonean people not get no account. And this is the man who is telling us that he's fighting corruption. So we want to know whose kind of corruption, whether not selective corruption. And mind you, this is a question. And now they ask them, you know, and they try for reflect. So nothing came out of that 49,000 bags of rice. And you will think that the Sierra Leonean people are forgotten. The answer here is no, they haven't forgotten, because up till now, this is a relevant conversation, but because things are kind of different and difficult, people are kind of involved in looking for an everyday thing for do, like basic bread and butter, if you prefer. Because if jobs been there, people and they get paid, and salaries be okay for purchase goods and services, the economy they boom, money they go around, then obviously people then go get very actively involved with some of them conversation there. But as a matter of priority, although it's important to them, but the first thing is before you discuss them thing there, you therefore put something in your belly. Now make them accuse the aspirants and say, now they're more active and then kind thing there than the people down there. Partly this is true, but now yonder now the story they come up from, and this is one for make and clear. So Mr. Superman, the question is, it is serious that the people may not forget waiting happen with bags of rice. They haven't forgotten, and this is something until they get answers. Because even up till now, people are still talking about where the bag of rice them? Who that take them? Where the minister, like you say, he has been reinstated with no answers at all, other than topsy-turvy of the law. The law where we cannot interpret, but we get understanding, or we sabi lawyer them, we cannot interpret them to we. So this ACC boss, he does have a lot to answer for. And Nami could talk about eroding public confidence. Because for buy into the confidence of the public, it means that you have to be outright with them. You get to be upright with them. You get to be righteous with them. In you fight on this particular case, when at the holy war, where you call them. So the people them gradually now, so you win them confidence, because why? You are representing them. But in this case, and many others, like you say, we'll talk about, no, there are many questions, and millions of people are disappointed at the fact that thousands and thousands of bags of rice got missing, and up till now, there are no answers. And if we're not looking at the background, like Supermed mentioned earlier, monies are being paid. Who are those paying these monies? What are they paying these monies for? Or generally, we know saying corruption because they're holding for corruption. But what are they paying the monies for? How much do they owe? Who are they paying it to? How much are they paying? Where are these monies going to? So all of these are necessary questions. So we see the man they give a check, if you now watch the background, to President Julius Maada Bio, where look like a sort of it's kind of disappointing in a way, because when they talk about institutions, Superman and fellow audience, when they talk about institutions, we now so we foresee them thing they transact not to strong man or to the employer. Because now there this flip-flop angle there, where does your allegiance lie? Is it to the state or is it to the man who employed you? Why did the man employ you? Now for protecting interest or now for help him, for police the state, for make sure say things go right for him? But what you will see is kind of different, and hopefully we'll develop more into this as we go into this program.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Prince Emil Kuma. And the development is actually accurate. Anyway, how the money transfers itself, now that question, now that topic for talk about back. But before I move any further, I want to remind people again, say, today I calling program, and they announced the number back for somebody will not be getting the number 8. All manner views and opinions are welcome. If you know how to show your name, you can get a pseudonym, so don't worry about that. Any name or whatever we give is welcome. But the number that they were, so like giving back the number then. Now 077 40 107 250 or 079 513 77568 or 07 43 200 2628. Don't forget you can use either WhatsApp or you can call, it depends on say but you able to get a number that you add +44 for getting at the WhatsApp line and you call via WhatsApp as well. We are Philippe saying that one of the most accessible way for communicate now. But Prince Emil Kuma, looking at this again, okay, we don't talk about the bags of rice, but one other thing happened recently, we shock people and we really dim people in confidence in the Anti-Corruption Commissioner and in Commission for Fight Against Corruption. Now that investigation we don't spend a lot of time in for looking to that Parliament. Remember at some point, few months back, the Honorable Tawa Conte become up say and make some big allegations in where he make against the clerk of parliament, Honorable Paran Trawali, when the administrator of parliament say then we pay some money them for oversight committees sitting them when not take place. We're going into billions of leons. So those allegations were out there, serious allegations, and so many other things then where they allege. Now this man in there among Parliament, inside Parliament, and many people really take us in a yard patriotic parliamentarian, Honorable Tawa Conte, for they get that he belong to the same ruling party himself, with the clerk of parliament, with the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, and he came up and he says these things openly and clearly. For the Anti-Corruption Commissioner went in, spent lots of time, Kalata will say, basically there's no case to answer. Now just process and things and that. And even Honorable Tawa Conte still a question, say, well, the thing that will present. Then plenty, me not be whistleblower. Honorable Tawa Conte was a whistleblower. Then him become now another accused as well. And it's ironic because what the Honorable Tawa Conte they do, in the time for help the Anti-Corruption Commissioner for fight corruption. So again, that is another aspect of that corruption fight where plenty people don't begin to lose serious confidence by the Anti-Corruption Commission. Say, but if they say where they these people belong to you, the same party. If the people necessarily they come up with them serious allegations, they are so. It's very simple. If their oversight committee are supposed to sit, they don't sit down. They don't allocate funds for that. If the thing not happen, you return the money back. So how comes now nothing comes out of it? All waiting come out say, well, now just procedural errors and things like that. There's no case to answer. You know, and again, Fambulem, what we decide to make this particular topic, the fight against corruption that we continue is very important. Like what we say no more, we're not going able to get a better education system if we not tackle corruption. We're not going to get better healthcare system in our country, good hospital, them doctors and medicine them, if we not tackle corruption. We're not going able to get jobs them for people, for we young ones when they come up, if we not tackle corruption. We're not going to improve the infrastructure, roads, bridges, so on and so forth, if we not tackle corruption. Because corruption is interwoven to all lengths. So this is an opportunity for me and you as Sierra Leoneans in general, for now we're able to raise a voice. Say, if we not be done doing before safe, maybe we'll not be getting means, we'll not be getting tool. Social media don't give you the opportunity for now we raise a voice. Lord, highlight the issue. It's very, very important. Brother Prince, I think so you get caller.
Yes, sir. You are live on the Then and Now program, and I think we get with first caller. So caller, if you want to identify yourself or you want a pseudonym or whatever, the platform is here to protect people who don't want to show cover. But I guess you want to make a contribution to the program tonight. Are you, sir?
Yes, you get me right, loud and clear.
Loud and clear, loud and clear. Superman, you hear the caller?
Yes, absolutely, loud and clear.
Yeah, you have been heard loud and clear, sir. Go on, please. Fire away.
Okay, Prince, and Superman, I think the contribution we have our make tonight, they get for the way the preamble of premises way, when I don't put in, when I don't make for this program in terms of if I can put on precisely how corruption in a way, because so to a large extent, this program is about the charity or something. I mean, despite the way it's supposed to get about. I mean, literally want to look at something. Let's push the goalpost a little bit and say, let's for argument they accept the yes. Corruption, the corruption commissioner, in the way he don't say or in the way he's supposed to do, is not matching up to the rhetoric that they came with.
Mm-hmm.
But let me look at it again. Should this be a time for let we look at corruption and say, you know what, it's not good for people, let's abolish corruption and look at a way of maybe looking back into the police force, because to me, the need for corruption come about because we look at the police as being ineffective. Because if the police are effective, they have all the statutory powers. They have arresting powers, prosecuting powers, which anti-corruption, so they don't get that kind of power, but they don't get the power for compete. So anti-corruption can try everything. Try the case, take it to court. But if the court system still the anti-corruption, then we come around and say anti-corruption is not fighting corruption. So to me, it's like it's a two-way thing, you know. Anti-corruption, I'm not siding them, I'm not defending them. But I really think they hand shot in terms of like the right issue way Superman just the commenter. Yes, they go arrest. Yes, they will prosecute the case. But if the court not convict the people, anti-corruption just will accept the verdict from the court. So I think we should be pushing for a way of saying, you know what, let's reform the police. Because if we have a vibrant police force for prosecute cases, therefore detect corruption and detect corruption, I don't think there will be the need for anti-corruption. But because the police are ineffective, and also don't forget, there's a problem here. You get some people who commit crime with a story say, I know the powers that be. This is just for successive government and the country. It's not just to this government, from the previous government and the one previous. So this issue, fighting or talking about corruption, we cannot just plant, you know, like they say, they plant here Panther law. It just doesn't stand. This is endemic. This is something that the root cause of it is in the police and the judiciary. Yeah. You're not going to go around and like anti-corruption is not coming to play magic overnight and make sure they don't reduce corruption. Of course, they don't corruption or reduce that. When the police force is so corrupt, the judiciary is so corrupt, so where is that corruption going to go?
I think that's a very good reflection, caller. I really appreciate you, caller. I don't know whether you've ended the call because it's so critical and reflective. Waiting you to talk about not sharing blame, but just to reflect on the position of the country and the anti-corruption and the way it's being fought. That whether there could be a different way for approach this menace now with society, I guess. Okay, I think the caller is done. Okay, just to try for summarize, you take on which I think say Fambulen will appreciate, but everybody get a different opinion. But I certainly do appreciate your contribution because it's kind of reflective. You're not laying a blame game on anybody, but rather they speak for the country in terms of different ways that we can approach this menace. Because it certainly doesn't seem like it's going well. Probably the intent is good. But then we know they apply the kind of measure them, like you say, some politicians are so powerful that they know how to go around the system. So once you can rig your way around the system, it's not going to get anywhere. And it's a kind of matter of time. And it seems like a musical chair game. So something else needs to be done, or a different approach to the fight against corruption. I don't know whether I right with that characterization of you take, but you still get the floor, sir.
I mean, you're perfectly right. And added to that, I think the narrative should probably, in a way, we don't try anti-corruption. We don't say anti-corruption. Time in, time out, they are not coming up with the required muscle we think they forget. Like I rightly, put and say, the rhetoric is not a match up with the performance, if I can put it that way.
Absolutely.
Like you mentioned, say, initially, when the camp say we will fight corruption will fight back. But again, when we look at things this way, let's put it this way now, Frank. The police are there to detect, arrest, or to prevent crime, fight crime, and you name it. But this very police there, the case begins. They come with a court. The case is a natural death, either from the prosecuting officer there or from the judges themselves. So where's the justice? Anti-corruption, yes, they come in with anti-corruption for able to help in fighting corruption. They give them all the powers, then they get arresting powers, they get prosecuting powers. That's the way anti-corruption will get. Now the power for convict.
Okay. I want to say thank you very much for your contribution. We get the phone the buzz. I don't know, we get one or two callers before we lose them. But we really appreciate your contribution so much. Superman, get anything for saying to that?
Yes, thank you very much. I think, yes, we appreciate the first caller in contribution. I think, they looking from another different perspective, say, well, whether if the Anti-Corruption Commission of itself is relevant, if the police have to do their work. But that is why, because we know several institutions them weak, that is why they bring up the Anti-Corruption Commission as a temporary measure for make sure they're able tap corruption at some certain level. We go allow all institutions them for go and strengthen themselves, so we'll reach to a certain level. We'll not able need Anti-Corruption Commission again, because waiting with the police them, the other different departments them so effective and so independent, they're able to carry their own job without political influence or due pressure. So the Anti-Corruption Commission, I think, is there as a temporary measure. But again, another good perspective, the caller come from another different angle. Definitely, if we get a good police force where they operate well in the country, then definitely there was going to be no need for Anti-Corruption Commission, because the police force will able to tap you, minister, MP, whatever you are, and make sure they investigate you thoroughly. But again, we know the institution now, we continue weak. So this now like a temporary measure for now we're able to lift yourself up to a certain level, but on strengthening institutions then we're not going to need the Anti-Corruption Commission again. But again, I think so. The time for we'll get some more calls but I Prince Chroma, I think say.
Yeah, the calls they're not drop, so you can continue the drop.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, Fambulem, this is the thing. Today, the 21st of March 2021. This Naniden and our program, they bring to Una issues of relevance. The national conversation, we believe, is in full swing, looking for the heart and soul of we country in different ways. Today, we microscope, they bring the head of the ACC under scrutiny for the way how the fight against corruption, which once upon a time he declared as a holy war, how much of a holy war it is. How the prosecution rate they go, who then they prosecute, how then they prosecute. Because it's a question of authority. The last caller did mention that. We need something else for go forward, because this we go take on, like say, it's not working. So we get other powers there, we already established, we can take on that. But I think Superman deal with that perfectly well. We institutions are weak. That's why, as a supplementary on a supplementary basis, then they bring commissions of inquiry.
Yes,
and
but
give them some independence and empower them.
Yeah, hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, hello, caller. Who side they call from and what's your name and what you want to say, please? The floor is yours.
My name is Umar. I call from the US.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Umar.
Yeah. Me on point as far as this anti-corruption issue is concerned.
I just feel say the first thing when we miss this whole thing about the institutions there and the issue of this Speaker of Parliament. I think because the way how we be vote, and we be really vote, you understand, for a change, whereby we expect say the opposition for the majority in a parliament, while the ruling government, understand, they in the minority, so that we go able to see accountability and transparency clearly. But we can notice say the way how the ruling government and fight very hard, you understand, so that they will get the majority in power, then get the speaker, then get everything. Because of course, even like the public account committee, normally for accountability purposes, like when the auditor general can don't do all in findings, you know, auditing, all this kind of stuff, then present that report, at least then debate. From there, Uda normally can chair that, supposed for chair that particular committee, that the opposition leader. But unfortunately, in this case, it not happen. So these are the mechanisms and this, you know, where the guy then put, you understand, in a way that at least now we not go able to get a clear probity about this their organization. So because we missed that opportunity there, so everything just go in the drains. You see, talking about the judiciary now, talking about the law enforcement, you know, the anti-corruption. So everything just go, you understand, basak. You see, rather unfortunate. You also they see people, you understand, where they don't become whistleblowers. You know, instead then they give, you know, then they bring up some.
Hello, caller.
Okay, I think the line dropped.
Yeah, okay, yes, he's back. Yeah,
he's back.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Where are you now?
Yeah, so these are the things, my brother. Like I said, at least from that day one, when you see we miss that opportunity, me, you understand? In me own opinion, I know say everything, you know, now just a fruitless endeavor. So now anyway they see so now. You see, even people are now, everybody now, you find out, say people will become scared, even when you get any sensitive something, but because of you put nation before any other thing else, you understand, they become the targets now. You see, so it really unfortunate. Really unfortunate, you see, considering now look what they see from this Africanist press, you know, the revelations the Africanist press they bring out. It's so sad, you know. So we're not gonna be surprised why we still there, we'll not get good roads, we'll not get good schools, you know, we not get good, of course, right now, even be the watch save somebody when a parliamentarian where they're even saying sick. You understand? And right now there's I understand say them for even fly them out, you know, because of in condition. You see, right? Money no day. You see, so these are all the dangers. And these are the things. And me, as far as me as an individual, I'm not concerned whether green. Yes, I get me interest. But what me in general, a particular about, unless now we get them basic facilities there in our country. Not to anything, you understand, will happen. Unless we, what about for the people that we not go get that opportunity there? Of course, even sometimes you get in power today, you don't know tomorrow. What thing will happen with you, your pikin, your wife, or your family member?
Okay.
Once you're not there in that position, the white people are not they think, you know.
Okay, Kola, thank you very much. I think
the unfortunate thing now you find out say most of the one they now within the places and the people that we don't live now there, party at the world. We all don't they see. You understand? Waiting they go on at them place they are. You see? But this one all boiled down, you know, like with people we Sierra Leoneans, we not get love. I think now love na embassy. Love na embassy. So I mean my own contribution then and now. I thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Kola. We appreciate you greatly. Thank you very much. And but please, what are you opinion. What you think? What you get from this caller, this last caller?
I think the caller it makes some very good thought-provoking comments. It's also very reflective of what the reality on the ground is. And the caller sounded, with all due respect, it sound like upset, you know, because things are not going. You can feel the frustration of the caller in voice. You know, that's the kind of frustration, because your expectation is being, trampled upon, if you will like. There were many expectations, including myself, say, well, we go do things for let things go right. Now we see say things never go right. How do we write these things? I wish I would get the time for Askam. How do we write these things? Because he's completely disappointed, the last caller, that all of the expectations, if you want to go with the mantra, new direction, the fight against corruption, holy war, we will hold them accountable, thieves and what have you, all sounded very good. And true Sierra Leoneans were prepared for go through then chemotherapy there, as Dr. Lumumba say. You cannot want the rain, but you're not ready for the thunder. Then that means you're not prepared. You cannot go through chemotherapy, it's painful and you don't expect the pain or loss of hair or things like that. There has to be, but at the end of the process, there has to be some kind of solution, Superman. Even if you don't see the solution one time, you can see the path, on at the head. And this is where the frustration comes in. Because we know that if you fight corruption, corruption will fight back. But how is corruption fighting back? Is it with more corruption? I left this to you, Super.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. I want to tell Nicola, thanks very much again, because what he highlights again a very, very critical topic. Because I'm the guy for talk say after the election, the opposition was supposed to have the majority in parliament. So the opposition probably gets the speaker. And that's what makes sure say the parliament able all government accountable. Now, not that way down the way government knows say anything they want pass through parliament, they get to make sure say it they in line with what the people they want, what the parliamentarian will approved. But since that opportunity was trampled upon, everything else will come on top of them. The color they think say in order for work, and in the show, so many people get that perception here as well, and I think say the perception is valid. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, hello, caller.
Hello, Mr. Koma, how are you?
I'm not too bad, sir. Yourself?
I'm very good, thank you.
I sure say you want to make contribution to the program. First time caller, I believe?
No, second time.
Second time, okay. Welcome to the program, sir, then and now. If you can identify yourself quickly, also you call from, and then you can, the floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Imran Touré, and I'm calling from London.
Welcome, sir.
My brother, actually, the guy we talk before me, they can talk about something really powerful. We get to do with the corruption with parliament, because quite a lot of people, when they talk about corruption, they only talk about monetary kind of corruption.
Yeah.
But corruption is a very huge thing. It get to do with dishonesty, it get to do with fraudulent behavior, it get to do with the misuse.
Well, I seem to have lost that caller. Hello, brother Koma. I think we don't lost the caller, and you don't mute yourself. So unmute yourself. I think so. We don't lost the caller, but what's in the caller? But it's guy for say it's very, very relevant, and it's guy for highlights issues about say corruption, not so for thief money no more, and that's true. Corruption they come from so many facets.
Super.
Yes, go ahead. You be unmute, you be mute yourself, but you're back on now.
Hello?
Super, you need for hold that caller. Then we get somebody on the line. I wonder whether you hear me. You hear me?
Yeah, they hear you loud and clear. Yes.
We got a caller on the line, Mr. Touré Imran. You want to hold that caller? That caller they call from overseas. We can hold Imran.
No, wait, let Mr. Imran go. That caller don't go first. Let Mr.
Okay, Imran, go ahead, please. Yeah.
As
But Super, you hear Imran?
Yes, I hear now loud and clear.
Yeah, go on, Imran. Imran?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yes, because what's in it, gentleman?
No, Mr. Koma, I think say you don't mute. When you mute yourself, I think the caller said go on mute. Okay, I think say Mr. Prince Emil Kuma don't mute yourself. Now Emil the class said don't go on mute so, but I they get the gist of what's in that color there, Mr. Imran it's guy for say it's about corruption having so many different facets. And that is absolutely true because what's in do many people when they talk about corruption, they remember say somebody when they get money for go buy something, then get 10 million, they go buy the team 5 million, he only 5 million in pockets. Yes, standard corruption. But again, like what we hear again from Mr. Sano, where he say the Minister of Education go put somebody when I embody the law for go on one department, we get big budgets. I mean, he even said it's about $70 million budget. This person, because now the minister embody the law, now I'm going to go put some for the job. That's a big corruption. Because when you put somebody, we're not competent, we're not qualified, we're not meet the criteria for certain job. That person not going to execute that job well. And what will happen? It gets serious ramifications for the country. Very serious ramifications for the country. Mr. Prince Emil Koma, you mute yourself, so the caller was also muted. So I had to like tell for summarize what you say. Go ahead again.
Okay, my apologies, Iman.
Yes, sir.
I've been again leave family noise in the background, so I've been mute me on and not realizing that through me microphone, and so you go to the rest of the world. So I beg apologies for that. Yeah, make your point again. Yeah. Iman, you hear me?
Yes, my brother, I hear you.
So I apologize to you. I say I mute me mic. Be on the microphone now via that.
Okay.
Yeah. So do I make your point again? The world they listen. Sorry about that.
Yeah, because you look at the control the way people talk about corruption, they only think about monetary corruption, and corruption is a bigger light in which you get misuse of influence, bribery, fraudulent behavior, and all that thing, like which happened at Parliament where the Speaker of the House was supposed to be power, then push down people in throats. That is corrupt. Then also when they pull all them 10 APC MP that day, when they pull them, we know for say constitutionally they're supposed to get by election at all MPs that day. But hey, SLPP failed to say right. The best thing we can do, we came second. So now we did put you seven at place that day. But funnily, the side where they can second, when I 1-1-0, they run by election day. Because by right, the MPC can second day, the MPC for don't take the position. Because they make a benchmark, but when it comes to other position, not keeper, that's corrupt. They should have investigated.
Yeah.
Then I remember again when they began that 1-1-10 day, a whole cabinet minister was not supposed to be at the police station. Go there. A whole broke ballot box. Everybody see I'm not vandalism. I don't feel to say anti-corruption for the even involved the police to be arrested and charge them.
Right.
Because of the violence behavior and all that. That is corruption. And when they talk about the man where the minister is wrong, one the man not qualified. But the reason why he wants the man is because he wants somebody who will help or protect the activities that they do. So people outside don't know. Because by rights, now England, Mr. Coleman, when you apply for job, they ask you if you're related or you study anybody that you company.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why they do that is for try for deal with equal opportunities. Make sure everybody gets a fair chance. That's not one. Then secondly, the person where they go now they place you get for clear, make them know the connection with between you and the person. And also, if it cannot be placed and we are connected, then they make sure they will keep an eye on you, make sure you do all the relevant things that we get for do for make transparency good. They make people will get trust in the way the process is that they go.
Yeah.
But that's not happened. So the whole place just upside down. What in one of the past all the other day, I see the commissioner of police team up publicly the talk say, what in happen at Belgium, the they sell thief property. If you're not a police officer, they come out, they can't say something like that. Where one of the most important things that we do in community policing, now for giving people a confidence. But like you, when they go burn people in property, then give people in property, then you can't team up now. They make short statement. That's clearly to say
Yeah.
But in talk say, with all clarity, say them people there are criminal. If they were criminal, why you don't arrest them prior to this thing will happen?
Yeah, because they know.
When they don't get losses of that magnitude.
Yeah.
You know, so me the whole thing is, let me forget about the monetary corruption for now. Now we talk about the issues there, how many issues influence.
Yeah, so Imran, we quickly run out of time with your contribution. So I just want to ask you one or two quick questions. I don't know whether Super get anything for you because you make quite important points. But I want to let you weigh in, give me a little bit of a pin up on the ACC boss. Because what you do, you touch all around them without touching on him, the man himself. So yeah, you get where I'm going.
Well, for the one, I was totally against the employment because this man here, when they get in that position, they not be qualified for the position. The fact that he was very partisan. The man that do campaign against APC, but let people that wear black vests against APC. That job been a job where for go or somebody were very neutral or somebody where for be seen for be neutral. It clearly shows that the man not do the job in the interest of the people of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Rather, it is do for facilitating your interest, and the interest is all about SLPP.
Right.
And then they already make people that get trust in the system. You know?
Yeah.
People are not get trust in the system because this man is wholly and solely SLPP. Everybody knows that.
Okay,
and
Mr. Ture.
It's very disappointing for me when I see somebody like kind of young girl when they talk say, we can't forget the quota system, where no tribe don't forget past 35%. But in one of the possible way, really vote for that mandate, for that mandate holding position. In a condemn in practice, but in principle, it go with all the things that went wrong as well.
Well, you maybe Imran, you go get for pardon Dr. Kande because again, you know, a lot of conflict they take place. One, when you talk about 35%, you get for imagine say they look after your interest because if you come up from a minority side and with the current situation or demography, then he will stand no chance. Then obviously as a parliamentarian, you expect say go propagate them kind of thoughts then they. But at the same time, when you understand in background and where it comes from and they talk about political wise, philosophy, support, allegiance, kind of the first thing that they will tell me about in the go usa in Dadi Binde. And these are some of the things, the pronouncement, the way he make. So we can understand, but him being out of it, I just want to say thank you so much, Mr. Ture, for your contribution tonight.
It's okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So Supermed, this night are the thing, and the other caller again make very good point. This is why it's necessary for have them conversation there. We may hope so we'll get more calls, let we hear different views. But so far the views they will hear is reflective of the time. So what I take from this caller and the caller before the last is there was no sincerity inside the process. I don't know how you see them, because if you go back to the elections and the speakership, and I think you highlight that there very well when you talk about what it mean, we reflect on the caller previously, what it mean for get a speaker there inside the house and what it for be really represent. Yet it not happen. And all the game where we see play around, the outcome of how now they see so it like say there was a design, and that design they in the outplay so. And Imran make a very good point about constituencies, the elections na constituencies, how they play out. And if there are questions, then the second runner up na the design down there, suppose for naturally take the place, because this happened at other constituency where people that will wield enough power when it happened, then the next in step for taker because that happened. But when it happened at 110, the next people left for taker, which is the NGC, it never happened in that case. They instead they run them 3 times at taxpayers' expense. What say you, Super?
Absolutely. I think so the caller makes some very, very good points. I mean, that to be careful analyze here earlier on is that corruption, they come in so many different facets. Not so for saying people are working almost as somebody thief money or somebody who lock money. No. Corruption they come in so different where institutions then supposed to do certain work like waiting next be supposed to do but that particular election and not do one. Instead and do something completely different. That is corruption. That is corruption. Now, in make I say corruption is so interwoven in so many aspects of society. So much so that we need for them. We're not going to obviously eradicate them completely, but we will tamper them down to a level where manageable. Because corruption, it comes so many, plenty angles them. And one of the dangerous corruption where I can always highlight to people is when you give somebody a job, we don't meet that criteria for that job day, we don't get the qualification for that job day. That to me is big corruption. Because waiting this the alleged say the education minister do. Now you go recruit somebody when not qualified the criteria what you set, and not qualified, but you get a job because you brought the law. And this they say that particular department where they go ahead, go worth up to $70 million. So can you imagine the man not get the expertise in the first place for do that job day? So any token for come up on that job day, how that go benefit society? It's very, very serious because he don't go there because of certain reasons. He not get the expertise, he not get the experience, he not get the knowledge. And you will see how the job they go down completely. No wonder in recent years, in recent history, we don't get the worst results than that we can't today. If people in authorities they think like that way they, and that's important to for highlight. I believe it's very, very relevant and necessary because corruption, if they make a serious role of corruption gets so many different ways them where in the camper. You know, many process them. We don't hear you want them when they're supposed to vote in the parliament. The speaker go for nay, hey, and people always say no, safe and plenty. But still at the A have it. That is corruption to its simplicity, you know, and this the insincerity as well, because we as people, we go forget that integrity, we go forget credibility, because you know that'll be daylight robbery they can call them. When all my people will say no, them beaucoup. You say the people will say yes, and them beaucoup. Daylight robbery, because we hear open one, you know, and that does not give confidence. So people we're gonna be potential investors. And again, Brother PK, I want you look at what's happened recently again in terms of the investigation where the Africanist press pool about the office of the First Lady. Let you analyze that, because I know that Salah Libakwab is very relevant when they talk about this anti-corruption commissioner.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make quite a number of critical points then they where family can make their own judgment on them basis then they, which shows that it's not we as individuals, it's not we as press people, it's not we as media hosts where only they drive the diktat, but the circumstances itself, the officials who are charged with the responsibility of dispensing their duties there, i.e., the commissioner of the ACC, the boss, the czar of the ACC. So understanding the mandate of the ACC is quite important. The remit of the boss, and he's been around. Yeah, let the caller go ahead, please. Yeah, yes. Sure.
Hello, caller. What's your name and who's the call from, please? Okay. Okay, super. The floor is all yours. Go ahead.
This corruption issue, waiting me just to think for that is that I just want no more longer compile any corruption action, any issue blower, when I make them file them, when I put them on a next them for the same way government is changed, when I will come up with them here. Now, one thing that in the run on the mind, and this thing did not happen that we got to once, and I think it's not successful, so that they try for let them make the operation successful. The operation not been go down well to the way how they want them. So this now the time now where they feel this, they will come in and make the operation successful. Waiting at the operation, that operation pay yourself. After the January 6th, where they attack now, what do? They say, let me do operation pay yourself, because we know that we not get for able, we not get for able to pay the about them, we not get for able to pay all man, we not get for able to get rid of the government. So now let everybody go out there, let it go for anything they get, and I forgot about everything. But the operation not be go down well. So now it makes them step back, they say, let matter you come, then we can make this operation successful. Now that's not the thing. From the day one where they come, waiting can of my mind, I tell the people they are not come to come help the people with people in the country. But they come not to help corruption, but they come for take. Then take up that is APC that is the thief. That is APC that is the thief, but now they don't prove themselves wrong. APC they not be the thief because when somebody is waiting for one, then they all are thief. But at the end of the day, they will say people that is thief, they don't do the work faster. When examples the day where they give out, where they show things, the people are then really come for some mission, the operation which we don't fail before. Then we look at the case of Chief Minister. Chief Minister is say where it is that he say that people are not expand them, the APC people are not I see them. Now when it comes, where the ball can I own cost, it was other on your side. What did he say? He said, them people there, not to the ministers that they will go after. They will go after the subordinates them. Because then, you know, he said that the minister, then they sign. And then they do everything. Then we go after them. A first case we don't come up where the anti-corruption man and call and tell us, hey, we as of say, I guess an intelligence say, money don't go inside this person here. He called the person, he say, as of say, they tell me say money don't go inside your account. I showed it is. Then Chief Minister called the anti-corruption man. The anti-corruption man they say, let the man get to go the evidence where he gets. Where the man has just
caller, I will call you back in 2 minutes. I miss you, caller. I'll call you back in 2 minutes, please. Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay then.
Yes. The journalists not get the power for both now some offices the way in get all the power for go to any office for go find out where they go on the top president office ain't get that power there. They say let the man go with the evidence. Why you not going to make up a law? Then within 24 hours, they come out. They just come out and tell the people, like, oh, the information with the rumor where they go around, and lie not to shoot me. When I watch the statements where I say that people there, they come let them come complete their operation. Operation pay yourself. This is not the second time this. But this time around, they put her in that uniform form, they put her in that green shirt. The word I'm going to say, we are SL50 power.
Okay,
caller. Thank you very much. Okay, then. Thank you very much, caller. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think that other caller, they said making your contribution very, very well. That's the perspective who side they come up from now. You try for make Larry understand, but we go try for analyze and quickly. I think we get another caller on the line. Let's see whether we still get it. Let's see whether we still get this caller. Just call him back and see. We've missed the call a couple of times. Hopefully he or she picks up. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Yeah, loud and clear, sir. I'm sure you want to contribute to the program, and if you can give me your name and where you're calling from, the floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emil Kroma and Supermed, Mr. Harun Zubairu. I want to talk about the ACC director, the Auditor General, and also you will get a couple caller again, where they make reference and there's some deception and lie, deliberately lie about Dr. Kande Kole-Young Keller and what he don't do. This time they make with the fight very strong on people and when they come to this and let me also can lie on Dr. Kande Kole-Young Keller. But now we begin to talk about this ACC director. First, the way that they still as the ACC director was the wrong way to go about things, right? That's number one. But now we can pass forward. It gets what I call a selective justice. It only they choose people where you know say they against really the opposites of them, meaning like the FPC and people who don't support the SLP. And that's they don't do. We see when it was 9,000 bags of price weight loss. And when I don't talk about them, let me see where Timbo, they deliberately take the rest, share within themselves. Not only to take the rest, but it ministers them. They deprive the beginning of Samuel. The beginning of the say, the one of them, then they deprive so. We saw this ACC director go back and all a teacher them. It turned it on the neck. This ACC director, where a civil rights lawyer, go tell him off. Now people in there, put her on the center of it and serve them. Basically, that the ACC director, this young man, when he gets his ultimate power, when he still asks for power, this ACC director will not say, the first lady don't sit or come on in. They say they won't investigate all the first lady when it comes to this particular first lady. This one will believe, say, if they get every award, it can be taken to this award where they are thinking they do well. The problem there. When we count how much money this man don't collect over the past 3 years, in 2018 to 2019, it collects 18 billion loans. In 2019 to 2020, it collects 25 billion. Nothing in 40 or close to 40 billion euros that it collects. But don't think about how much we lost. In 2018 2019, we lost 144 billion.
Yeah.
In 2019 to 2020, we lost 177 billion loans. In 2020, we lost $92 billion loans. We saw up to $325 million.
Hello, Kola. Now, just hold on a second, please. Before you...
Net loss.
Yes, Kola, for just hold on a second, please. Hello, you get me? Okay, now, hold on a second, please.
Zubayu, I want to play one short clip of the, before we let you go. Of course, you've made such brilliant points. You know, man, we're always there on point because We like people the way they give you facts and figures. Facts and figures, you know, say in science, 2 times 2 now 4. Not to some other people the way 2 times 2, they give them 3 or 5. So we do appreciate that. We get one short clip now of the First Lady, because corruption, like you say, it comes in different facets, like Superman say, different facets. We want to foresee the beginning of corruption, but this is not just one of them. So I want to play one short clip of the First Lady. You give me a quick overview of your feel of that particular clip there of the First Lady, and then we'll let you go. Thank you so much, brother. Listen to this clip, please.
Religion, you won't find anywhere else.
Did you also bear in mind the pain and suffering you brought to some people during that period? Roads were blocked, people could not go for their business because you and your husband were in the church exchanging vows.
I think you have got your messages or your story so wrong.
Not really.
No, really.
This marriage was held out in the outskirts.
Now let me tell you, first of all, let me make something clear to you. Yeah?
Yeah.
The marriage, we did not have public holiday. Everybody went to work.
I'm not talking about that.
Sorry, let me finish here, sir. We did not have public holiday. Sierra Leone have 7 million people. We invited only 300 to witness it. And we have it in a church that can accommodate at least 2,000 people. We only invited 300 people. The road was open. You can go up and down as you pleases. We were in the church for 2 hours alone. 2 hours.
You were at St. Paul Seminary Church.
I don't think you even know where St. Paul is.
No, this is what I read, and this is information I got.
It is not everything you read. You know when Mother Bio is going to die?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. So do you want him to wait till they have light and electricity in Bo Kenema and all of that before he can fulfill his obligation to God?
But can't Mother Bio also prioritize looking at the country's situation and said, why not I just solve this problem
on my wedding? Come forward and show your face. The state did not give me 1 single penny for my wedding. And before I become First Lady or my husband becomes the president of Sierra Leone, we were not wretches. We have our own money. We were not beggars.
This is exactly, I mean, there was a lot said there, of course, now during the married and not the married, and anybody can make of waiting and want to make of them. But pointing to many issues where we see today as a virtue of the Africanist press, we were not paupers. We had our own money. But the revelations they already see, it sound otherwise. Waiting are you overview or you take on this tip, this short tip we'll just play of the First Lady, please?
Unfortunately, I will get to which I don't get exactly what you said. At the end, I'm able for the way they talk, say, I'm not going to understand what you say because of the obviously.
Okay, and the recording low. Yeah. But we will just give you, just go ahead and analyze whatever, and then, yeah, thank you so much for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I will just do that. Yes, 2 things there. Let me tell you now, Mrs. Malabio in England, the artist, not the only one artist. That's an artist where they make $1 million for every every movie where you make. Eventually now they make $20,000 by movies, and I can bet you your life, Mrs. Malabio not make $100,000 per movies, all put in time where they act. They don't make $100 million, $100,000. And Mr. Malabio, your husband, not make $500,000 in the entire time in England. In fact, it depends on the government to support them. So they don't make that money. But not only that, I can tell you now, sir, for the month of December, for them to celebrate Mrs. Malabio go and they take $500,000 and go lavish them with the money when they don't make that their entire life and their entire adult life. They don't ever make the money that they. Now they go tips and they misuse when the banks don't get money. They go directly to the bank and go take money and come on our accounts. We all know about that. But get people there when they come and talk. This thing they will not know about Dr. Kanda Yomkala. If that Dr. Yomkala now for use as a scapegoat, they missed the boat, but then and quite now. And I can tell you, it will be hard for them to begin the fight against APC. Because what I believe that APC and the NGC get to come together and fight this fight. So I give on a pass. I know the fight is issue again because we're a team. When I continue, when I went on the social media, they call Dr. Young Killer all the time. No choice.
Rapiki, I think say let's
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Hello, Subai, we'll get another call quickly.
Okay. Many thanks, Zubairu. Never disappoints the audience. Many thanks. Yeah. Superman, you got a caller there.
Yes. Caller, what's your name? And who side they call from? And the floor, they all to you, please.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, me, not a people's power, and the caller right here from Freetown.
Yes, go ahead, people's power.
Thank you very much, guys. When this topic come up, when I see the flyers all over on social media, and I think Sierra Leoneans, they're not happy. Sierra Leoneans, they're not glad for debate on corruption, for talk about corruption, and for point at the things where they make corruption that they happen in this country. One thing where our people they know, the ACC boss what we get in this country, when he come in this country as an ACC boss, 2018, he will tell the people of this country, say, in the People's Commissioner, where it tell we say, in the People's Commissioner, so which means a day for serve the people of this country, another for serve the SLPP political party, another for serve the president and a family, another for serve cabinet ministers. When you are the People's Commissioner, then honestly, you for be straightforward, you know for Ben, you know for get no secret cow. But honestly, believe you me, Sierra Leone, as the people who they listen to me all over the world, this ACC boss where we get when Ben Kaifala, he gets secret cow. He gets a lot of people and when the cases then they come at the ACC office, they take them, sweep them under the carpet. I can always tell people and say, the ACC boss, they fight against the opposition. The ACC boss, they fight against the people away and believe say they are APC. The ACC boss, they fight against people where not they na in your side. It only they fight people where in believe say them people are not them.
Oh, I think
yes, lost them briefly.
Political party. Yes, now look the cases they will run get. We get pile of cases where not happen within from 2018 to this 2021 as we speak. We get pile of cases. Look the Auditor General's report where they come out every blessed year. This ACC boss no watch none of them cases today. None of them cases today. You know what? The recent one where they come out where we all see again at the public domain, when at the Africanist press, all the publication the way they pull against the chief minister, and publications them against the first lady, and publications them against the Ministry of Finance. A lot of ministries, departments, and agencies were not involved in corrupt activities. This ACC boss, they come after nobody, and then they even call them for questioning. From where it tell we say, when the first lady in them come up, when the first lady do all the denials, just know the clip on a play, just know where this first lady now tell we say, it not be poor before it be president, before it be a first lady. We all know say how he come as first lady, how a husband come as president of this country. They not be get nothing, even when they live in London, they be there in a shelter house, the house where the government of England, the London government, they put their houses there for poor people. People will not be able to afford. Now their houses there, now they be go take. So how he will come now and tell me say it not be poor. If you not be poor, you able to do all that things that they are for you say you not go there now they kind houses the day. That they clear now this country also. Now we see the kind way where the president and the first lady and their families them how they go and dish out money to people them. Who side they get them money the day? They send a microcredit, then they give loan to people them. Where we give you 50 million. If you bring that 50 million day, we see say yes, you count them. Will they add 25 million per tap that 50 million day? Who side the money come out? How they get the money? You know the people and they ask them questions they ask you. Now Ben Kaifala now if you come out
and make sure say he investigate some of the things that they. Now look what's in the happen. Now the Ministry of Education. Look what's happening at the Ministry of Education, where a civil society, where itself now an SLPP person, but it began a NATCOM yesterday. Look what's in a whistleblower. This man don't turn whistleblower. Up to this time, as I speak, Ben Kaifala not go now that ministry there or call the Minister of Education and the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. They not call her for questioning. But yesterday, if not anybody in the opposition gets that kind of problem there, believe me, by this time, that possible for them be embarrassed. From when Chief Minister allegations, then they come up, this ACC boss not ever call her for questioning. Now, yeah, you and I day, sometimes 2019, 2020, when Chief Minister then Academa, they make it clear to the people of this country, say, if you then give you contract 100% of that money there, if you take the 1% you put in my pocket, you use the 99% of the project, you take the 1% you put in my pocket, not to corruption at all. Right away, now then the president for we don't fire her. Right away, now then the ACC boss for don't investigate some. If we don't call her for questioning. But this ACC boss, they call them people for questioning. A lot of corrupt things that will happen around the Ministry of Land, the former Minister of Land. This ACC boss no call nobody, absolutely. The Ministry of Finance, a lot of things that will happen there. This ACC boss no call nobody. But yesterday, the proper teacher them, then teacher they will go hide under the old. The ACC boss go and get the teacher the day when allegedly they say they're involved in examination malpractice. This ACC boss go take the teacher they come and place them na quantity publicly. The whole world see them, the whole nation see them. They come and do that to proper teacher them. Why in the target the big fish them, like the chief minister, like the first lady? And we don't tell we say when the first lady in case come, they go investigate 14 years back. Oh yes, people don't accept 14 years back. But when we say in the way.
Thank you, People's Power. I think, are you still there?
No suicide.
Yeah, go ahead. You get another minute for conclusion. Yes.
Yes, 30 days, we not see who side this FCC boss go from 14 years back and bring their things the day. Look what happened at Parliament, where a whole civil society they do a survey. They say Parliament are one of the most corrupt institutions in this country. Tawa and Parantarawali, look the corrupt things the way they come out in this country. But this SCC boss now a disgrace to this country. The SCC boss now a disgrace to President Bio. The SCC boss now a disgrace to the SLPP. Because we know say he did also for fight the opposition, he did also for fight the alliance them. We don't belong to the party, the SLPP party, we don't belong to the APC and the SLPP government. He there for protect the SLPP people. He went for fight corruption and he they defend. We always see the SCC boss they come and they defend the corrupt things that will happen under this government here.
Okay, People's Power, thank you very much for that fair contribution. Mr. Prince, let me come over to you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, what a brilliant contribution, and you can feel the power, you can feel the steam. I mean, people and they express themselves as they see things. We need to pass judgments now, and at the thing we have to be, we get to be measured, but we look at patterns, we look at routines. This is nothing where people are going to see over and over. And today, the conversation that we are having, Fambulem, just for a reminder now, we talk about the ACC and its commissioner, Mr. Francis Ben Kaifala, Esquire, who was appointed by President Julius Maada Bio for head a very critical institution. But what we hear from caller after caller is this particular institution, which is supposed to be independent, is not independent by virtue of the man who is the appointed commissioner.
At least I'll go for coach. I'll go to call back.
Yeah, sure. That's important. That's what the show is about.
Please.
Yeah, Mina, Aji from London.
Okay, go ahead, Aji.
Yeah, I want to thank you very much for the program. All the time for call and complain with the people who talk. People and they listen, but if I want to put them program here, who the people they know what's happening in our country, you know what I mean? I did talk about the first year, I did talk about the entity board, the Kaifala. I did tell you now, you see, Kaifala, my grandmother be a friend, my best of friend, who mother be the American, right? A best of friends, even who mother be said, you know, America.
And this Ben Kaifala and they work all the people works them. This Ben Kaifala and I spent for a lawyer everything for seller in America. Now best of friends them. Best of friends. So all of them know that day about corruption and talk about okay, then they fight corruption and that's for this government for the fight corruption and like the lie. And let's look people the thing. They go put this money under. When I already know that I'm not the night to go put on it. So now when I tell we how they're going to fight this corruption. Yeah? Because the man will say, Madam, you not be the money, the woman not be the money. So must not say what they go take over this government. And all the things they go for this man and get for support them. And get for them behind them. So not from there, my brother. Right? Fatima said, if they don't do it, they won't get food. Who said they did? At the end of the day, they moved out this, at the end of the day, they said they can't plan. The guy didn't have to plan at the end of the day. So how in the whole life are people and take them money, for 20 years or so? A lot of people know they think. You know what I mean? This man, a man not to go for how many years, and I do work and I don't know now. Would they clear? Because sometimes, come on, I don't get the shape for worker. Now, this thing can't go to one guy for a life, and they can't go. Would they tell them back there, I need to go to the afternoon. It is just work at it. Would they clear? So why people are not getting access to the go here and go to the Mula? Eh? People are not, they're not the big. So now, if we want the laws that are going to be, now we have the place, if we see people like go and they put on it. Now don't complain because they go lie. What they, all is lie, what they lie. Now you don't talk to them now, then the best will defend themselves. Don't to them, anything not to them. You don't have what they make, and now the nakedness of community. We don't go to talk. We always talk. We cannot social media, we talk. This government, they don't want to power. Nothing for that country. Nothing. They're all like the governor has come out. And vice president has come out. They all are 490. They all are 490.
Okay, caller. Thank you very much. We don't get the message. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, let we not lose we cool to the extent where we begin for call with leadership names in as much as we disappointed and upset, or there's a different way how we can put them. For call them their name, then they know that's a little bit over the top. But all the same, we thank the caller for picking up the phone, unlike others that are not picking up the phone. We're supposed to make the real case. Fambulem, today the 21st of March, 2021. We're having a very serious program, a discussion about the fate of we country, the heart and soul of we country. And this bordered around a very serious issue where they happen. My co-hosts don't talk about the significance of fighting corruption. So nobody know they play around the word corruption or say enough of it. Because now this with detractors then can try for use when you talk about the case of fighting corruption and how unsatisfied you are with how it's being pursued. Sometimes we not even look at the symptom, we can go straight for the disease. And if you don't understand the symptom, it simply implies you cannot fix the problem. Superman also said earlier that this is not something that can be eradicated. We can rather mitigate the effort of being so corrupt. But with waiting we see as we recall from caller the talk, there is deep dissatisfaction with people and within the Republic, and people and they express them as such, and then they give way a timeline. One, the election of the speaker, the circumstances under which the speaker was elected, constituency 110, the current ACC boss, how he was elected, is he representing the country or is he representing the man and the people around the man who appointed him? Was that the reason why he was appointed? All of these are critical questions, but just go quick to the chat room. Somebody put something in one.
I guess one call on I think the final, not this final call.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, caller.
It's all about calling.
Caller, for saying your name and we say the call. I think we don't call earlier and go ahead.
Yes. This is a short one no more.
Okay.
Are they now go actually with the ACC boss directly. At least we know right now, and the base work now more on sensitization rather than for do the real fight. Every day, a day from one district to the other. Of course, maybe they don't call them, or they don't tell them. I say that the opposite thing they do right now. What thing they do now, maybe they expect and say, if now that.
Yeah, caller, hold the line, please. We get somebody on the line. Hold the line, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, during the time where he take up this position as the commissioner, you understand? At least deal with the people, go to the people, sensitize the people. So now when you don't get pile of the issues there now, then they at hand. Now the 10 demand they left the office waiting for they do the serious work. You understand? They go out, I don't know, they go and puppy show with whatever awards they get, you understand, whether locally or internationally. It don't matter. You understand? We now the people, you understand, we is in day for.
Yes, go ahead. I think say you don't.
Is he back? We get one caller now, Super.
Yes, caller. Go ahead. Just wrap up now, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just like how the ambassador, the American ambassador, the advisor, at least make him look inward.
Absolutely.
Actually, the period, you understand, for the fight against corruption. So now that no more, my brother.
Okay, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks. We'll get this other caller in quickly, Super. You get called there?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Brother Prince.
Yeah, caller, you are live, please.
Hello?
Yeah, caller, you're live, please.
Okay, media brother, I just a quick one. I don't come on earlier, and I just one thing where I forget for talk about the presidency assets declaration.
Yeah, that's part of the process, and the man will declare unto. Yeah. You need for turn the volume of your gadget when they watch them down to 0. Other than that, there will be interference.
I don't do that now.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Now the assets of the presidency, then do one. How come you don't like his head?
Yeah.
I don't expect say it for the public, but then do one. The ACC boss say he do one, but he keep a secret. How we go trust the system when they behave like that? That alone now the biggest fraud ever, because like the law and the land state, they don't make that part say anybody will take power, therefore no waiting on the asset. He said he don't do the assessment. It should have been printed in the Gazette. It's not there. We've not seen it. So when he don't power, and they go talk about this is what he had. And how they don't show me prior.
Yeah, caller, la pause you right there, because now I want Mr. F1 for understand something, and please forgive me. You are absolutely right on the basis of ethics and good governance, good practice, but that is different from the law itself. And when I say different, it's more like a question than a statement. Is it by law that when the president go making declaration, can it be kept private, or does it have to be published in the Gazette by law?
Well, I feel to say it should be because they don't get precedent.
Okay.
They don't get precedent because the former president be Prince Hill. It was not because once the one previous don't do it, Bakababi don't do it, then he has to follow suit. That is a precedent. And when president don't say it don't become a law.
So there's an issue of suspicion here, because in 5 years, 20 years time, you could say what I declared, which been just there between a man when you appoint him, say now 20 million have been declared, now 50 million have been declared, and that is it. Okay.
Exactly. And I feel to say we order for press for them to make a declaration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now I make the national conversation supposed for go on. Thank you so much, Mr. Ture. Thank you for the call.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a quick one again, Fambulem. I just read one or two things. Des Egerton, they can play one video where you mention about the First Lady because it's relevant for where we play. And there are two things about this video. It's a very short clip. I think it's about 5 seconds, but it goes to the heart of the problem. Two things. One, it shows a First Lady before become First Lady, how humble it look. But of course, una can make the decision on herself, how una see him. Secondly, it talked to the thing where you mentioned at the platform, at the chat room, where say, it be say, wait till you say, where the poor man go they play and shortly. But in the meantime, I think they call them, they make so much valuable points, Superman, so many valuable points. Let us listen to this short clip of the First Lady. We'll play 1 or 2 times because it's very short. So Fambul and then we will catch them with exactly First Lady, Mrs. Fatima.
We believe say anybody when I SFPP na true Sierra Leonean right now.
Okay. So
we believe say anybody when I SFPP na true Sierra Leonean right now.
And one final time.
We believe say anybody when I SFPP na true Sierra Leonean right now.
Superman, you get that?
I get I'm loud and clear.
Yeah, loud and clear. And I want to let you go up much Panam.
Yes, it's a very, very unfortunate statement. Although the First Lady presents it very humbly, but the statement very, very unfortunate for say anybody on a SLPP and a true Sierra Leoneans. That statement, I mean, it couldn't be far from the facts. Yeah. Because Sierra Leoneans them then deem like country a multi-party democracy. So they get right to belong to any party where they want to belong to. That not means when they belong to a party, why we're not to SLPP, they're not to true Sierra Leoneans. It couldn't be far from the truth, and not very good for national cohesion either. But again, the program has been fantastic this evening. We don't get brilliant callers them, and the talk about corruption. People are very, very passionate. You know, we get that person at people's power, and he was very, very passionate. Taking time, I itemize things them all. Some of them will not even cover themselves because they're too plenty. And at this short program as we refer for carrying round up now very soon. You know, only they will cover them, but the things them they're overwhelming. I mean, the evidence that they pile on and pile on and pile on.
I think we get one more caller, Super. I don't know whether we can squeeze in this caller.
Okay, then that's fine. Yes, go ahead.
Calling. Okay. Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is Janet Matamuta here.
Wow, this caller is ready. No even question, straight away. Yes, Sister Janet. I shall say you're ready to go.
Yes, it won't be long. It'll just be a short, sharp to the point.
That's all right.
I don't listen to all. I don't listen to everything what everybody don't say, and I think so. We already on the right path. In other words, we are saying in a simple, straightforward sense that the ACC bonds is caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
You know, so here he's being appointed by the president, and the president is his friend, according to Waiting with Oyeri. And he knows that, you know, he's also working for the people of Sierra Leone because now with taxpayer money they take care where the taxpayer you know, so now he's in a situation now where he's going to make difficult decisions, you know. So when we look at this stuff, you say to yourself, how effective would he ever be? You know, and you don't fail him. This is a dilemma. Where does he go? Where does it start? Yeah. What decisions is he going to be able to make? You know, so I am not in a position to say, well, if I were him, you know, there's only one thing you can do: unplug yourself and move on. You know, say, well, I don't tell me at this difficult position. I cannot do the job for which I have been appointed, and therefore I want to unplug myself. You know, but again, it has to do with integrity. You know what I mean? Yep. So at all Gumble from now to December to 2023, Ben Kaifala is a fine young man. He's a friend of mine. You know, legally at the spectrum. But when it comes to this position that he's found himself, I am saying to him, he has to rethink. If you cannot unplug, rethink. I want to leave it there for tonight. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, what a high. If he cannot unplug, or if he cannot rethink, he need for unplug. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you cannot unplug, rethink. In other words, rethink of the decision to say, well, you know,
it's not working. Yeah.
We get for face up. You know, we get for face the law squarely.
I absolutely agree with you, sister, because now that I say earlier on at the program, that's why I supported him publicly. I went along with him. I used to send him messages. He sent me a couple of messages. I told him, let me know what you are doing. And I'm the first time I disclose this publicly. Give me what you do, sir. Within our media, we go publish them because we believe in you. But then many months on, the story is different. We're not making judgment again, but if you cannot rethink, then you unplug. I mean, if you have to do that, then it's a question of integrity, I suppose.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sister Janet. Much love, sister. You take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Yeah. Okay, Fambulem, we don't hear from many other people, and I think it's time for them we summarize now. We're coming towards the end of the program. It's been a lovely program. We've heard all sides of the aisle calling. I know say people have made comments in the chat room, few people. As usual, you will expect that, but we still get massive love and respect for these people because why? We are all green, white, and blue. We know some people only see red, other people only see green. But we, when they conduct the program, see green, white, and blue and have respect for our fellow compatriots. So when we talk about Francis Ben Kaifala, we talk about issues on the record. It's time for you yourself to take a back step and think, look what in the lady, the last caller just said this no. And go back again and look at patterns because that's how you can, when you deduce and adduce all waiting on the ground for the past 3 years. And one caller, I think that people's power, we outline them. And the outline are so succinctly in a local language for everybody to understand. Just that the name calling was just too strong, but he was saying it just as it is. And I could feel the brother's frustration. That's where it was coming from. And this, now the man we're supposed to prosecute corrupt practices who seem for the go only after the other. We make people and talk about witch hunting. Look what in Superman talk about parliament. This in itself is an eyesore, now problem for we use them. The perception Afrobarometer report say parliament, the state house, these are corrupt institutions. The most corrupt, in fact, imagine the highest offices in the land. Many months on, it proving for saying are true, not only via the Africanist press, the Africanist press came later with all them bombshell there. Then we see an authentic government document where they cause problem within the circles of government. We make Madame Lara Pias-Taylor, if she's not public enemy number 1, she will be public enemy number 2. And this title they play between she and Chernobyl. One of them has to be number 1, the other has to be number 2. But it is because there is no righteousness right now in the middle. This is what is causing the problem. It is because you're telling us one thing and you're doing another. And the Sierra Leonean people are not fools. They are watching, they are listening. There's a paradigm shift. I get one of my brother when they watch now, and I introduced this coinage to me about cultural shock. We haven't seen anything that we are witnessing now. And this is because of social media. Before you go control the media, now you, the bottleneck, waiting finally they come out after all the Boku talk. I will cede the floor to Supermed and we will end the program with another video where I think we'll just play of the First Lady before she became a First Lady and how humble this woman be, how he been the talk, how he been, you know, a little bit of appealing to Sierra Leonean people and show humility, love, instead of the mob justice video, instead of the challenges and the denigration of where people then pull bench and the body language, you can see them, we una. Completely different. Supermed.
Yes, thank you very much, Prince Emiko. And I want to tell the callers, thank you plenty. Like the last caller just now, Sister Martha, I mean, it made a clear point because this is about integrity. Then kind of job there. Now I made it, they pay you plenty money. Every person will give you the job, now they allow you for let you do the job. So I say, well, you know, I'm not let unplug. Let I left the job because what you know, Sierra Leoneans, millions of Sierra Leoneans, they look up to you, Mr. Anti-Corruption Commissioner. Millions of Sierra Leoneans, and you know, say the fight against corruption very important for them get them important issue. So they're looking up to you. So if you know, say the people will give the job, now they allow you for let you do the job, left the job. And many other people they talk and say, okay, it's good for sensitize the people, but now the commissioner gets plenty case load of cases then. The 2018 audit reports, the cases and plenty. 2019, the allegations from the Africanists, so plenty cases them. Meanwhile,
there's more coming.
Yeah, meanwhile, what you see, the commissioner they go on in talk for going to sensitize people then. I mean, it's very ironic here, and the way you say no more. You know, people are really passionate about this topic, and we're going to bring kind of calling program here soon at this particular platform, so that let people say their opinion loud and clear. Maybe the people in governance go listen to the people in the line and they experience what's in the happen. Maybe some body when they're at the high echelons of power, you know, they really know what's in the happen right down there. But the people, they know what they happen right down there. Some of the evidence then, where people they come up with, we are overwhelming. But today, we never see any conviction. Today, we never see any change. People they never lost confidence by the fight against corruption. Because the fight against corruption is about perception. Many people they say proper justice take place, not just selective justice. Somebody were there for me, not corrupt. Possibly not there for me, incorrupt. People will read that one day out quickly. Like when people don't read them out so. And that make we really grateful to the callers and say because very passionate views from all sides, and we'll encourage people again. Next time when we get this kind of program here, we'll come in and call. Lord, we discuss, let the conversation begin. I believe some people in authority say, well, yeah, we, because now we own responsibility, me and you, for raise the voice. We are the fourth estate. Let we raise the voice. Many people they know say yes. We know what's they happen. We go hold them accountable. Tomorrow, we picking them yet on board, we know say yes. We parents or grandparents them. Let's say we don't talk, they raise their voice. And it's very, very important, Brother Prince Emikoma, going forward. But like what I say no more, we not forget to go on our YouTube page and subscribe. We get big interview just for what we done recently with the Africanist Press editor, Mr. Cheno Alphapa. Remarkable interview. I want to go on our YouTube page and watch all. We get plenty. We get thousands of videos then. So do you want to subscribe? And not forget, subsequently Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Fridays, this platform they bring up issues them. So una the Sierra Leoneans them. Now we discuss and let the conversation continue. So again, Mr. Prince Emikoma, the floor there to you for let you wrap up and let's show this video. Let people say, watch them. People will be the judges. I want to thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen at the platform. We appreciate you guys all.
Absolutely, Mr. Supermed. Marvelous, marvelous Supermed. All we say is let's acquaint ourselves with the documents, the necessary government document. Not a bush radio or bush talk for just talk. No, familiarize yourself with the documents. Where we talk about expenditure without regulation or policy, where we talk about procurement of goods and services, where we talk about domestic revenue, where inside the first 90 days or 100 days, this government may talk about how they may generate or mobilize local revenue. Now, after 100 days, and then they talk about again, you get for big concern, waiting happen, how come that stop? And many other things them. You get a single treasury account. There was a purpose behind that because that sounded like something good when you talk about Fed corruption, because that means you can account in terms of government expenditure, income and outgoing on a daily basis, waiting go out and waiting come in, so you go able for compute your figures them. But yet we not see that they happen, and even the little one way they happen, concentrated in the hands of a very few people where we understand they try for rig the system. We hear about timber exports. One guest talk about timber exports, how the prices of goods, the way it is measured was changed, and how the bill was inflated, and the amounts to X, Y, Z, and later on until we say that the law changed when and not tell we. We talk about the import GST, you talk about other regulatory requirements, you talk about sitting fees, you talk about procurement. These are documents we are available now. We ourselves need to familiarize ourselves. As I speak to you, this is what we do here, ladies and gentlemen, and I sure say una the CDs, this is not the Auditor General of Sierra Leone report. Most of what you will talk about, this is where we take them from. First-hand account of government report, well done by a woman within the tribe for victimize. But this is where we all take them from. So there are many questions for us. Parliament, we're supposed to regulate. Parliament is accused of being corrupt. Parliamentarians inside Parliament accuse the Parliament of being corrupt. We warrant the ACC boss, this very ACC boss who we talk about, for looking to them, only for come out with a report again, we contradict Parliament and the occupants of Parliament within, and they say, even on the record and things that we play out now with very eyes. So what is it that Mr. Ben Kaifala is protecting? So we say, if he cannot keep up with the job, then he will have to leave. But leaving is not really, it does not really sound like an option, because we might probably need to go deep into understanding how and why he was appointed in the first place. And before being appointed, and no say another caller talk about him, who was he? Who was he? So how can a man who occupies such a position, we're supposed to be independent, happen for occupy this position when he supposedly is not independent? Fambule will left with Fatima Bio in internet. Thank you so much for listening.
I do. And then I have with somebody where you want for listen to this Nasoli and Sian and a different Sierra people. This is a special interview. This
in terms of qualifications, I know a lot of people see me as an actress and a journalistic community. So I'm a mother, I have 2 men, and kids. My house, a mini kindergarten for all the people in the neighborhood. I'm just a simple woman who believes in Africa. As I've been saying, I don't champion a lot of charitable organizations around the world.
So anyway, Fambulem, that's just a bit of the clip. I'm not too sure whether it's too clear. It seemed for the play up. But going forward, this is what the Then and Now platform will intend to be doing. We've just started it, and we intend for to do that. So when we talk about officials, we will put them on the record. We will bring them and show waiting and say on the record. Remember, the tape doesn't lie. Now, from one side, no one they will say tape the lie. People then go by them by 3 o'clock in the morning, and later on, even though not then talk, then say the tape was doctored. And not say tape can be measured in terms of the voice width and length and volume. For proof, say, no, this voice is consistent and there's nothing doctored on the tape. Modern technology, we few of we can put hands on, it don't help we a whole lot. Again, people in Try for Hamburg, we program on Friday, a massive program. You can delay the process, but you cannot stop the process. You can delay the process for left salon people that read the word, but you cannot stop the word from being heard. And even though you tamper with the program with spam and Trojan horse and whatever you call them, the program slowly is going out again. So we might not have the numbers that way if I don't generate them, but if you find out it's being heard and it was the talk of the town, put 2-3 heavyweight media houses then together on Friday, Then and Now came on top of it. Because why? We don't take the pride selfishly. It was done in the interest of Sierra Leonean. We want to commend Mr. Cherno Alpha and Ba. We want to commend Mr. Supermed for co-hosting the program and the platform itself. And above all, una the listeners then. Family, we thank you so much. We not forget that more programs they come on Tuesday. We get the 30th anniversary from when they fired the first gun that Bomaruwe erupted into a civil war in which thousands of we compatriots then die. We also get the Melvin Metziger show they come the end of this month. I believe the last day of this month, but we will keep una informed. It's about show business, it's about food, culture, and dress and fashion and things like that. Tuna no say Mr. Metziger na fashion man, so we go hear from him. Then we get another big one they come, I think that me and Super get for host this program as well, is the 23 broken promises of the SLPP government under Julius Maada Bio. These things are not being highlighted on the basis of selfishness, because some people in the CM as such, even at the platform here tonight, many people in the make 1 or 2 remarks. It's unfortunate that when you criticize, even though the criticism is correct about what they criticize, like today we are talking about Ben Kaifala, he might learn a thing or two from us, that the reflection of the people, they're not happy. The expression of the people, they are not happy with the direction in which they go. So you think, say, where you go now for go sensitize people and somebody say that, which you should have done prior to that. Therefore, don't take a different now. Also for they go and sensitize people then. That should have been the first thing. It's like letting the cat before the bag. That's what Englishman call them. So that doesn't resonate well. And that only they help for create more suspicion. It's like diversion and tactical we don't see. So Fambulem again, all them programs that they come on the Then and Now. We thank una they fund them. We're so grateful to una have been a wonderful people. Keep supporting the platform. There is more to come on this basis. I want to say a good night and a warm new week to everybody. Supermed, many thanks.
Thank you very much, and thanks everybody. God bless you all.
God bless Mama Salome. Right. Okay, Fambulem, I want to say thank you so much. Love you all. We still get 40 or 50 more people. Is it 40 more people? We've come to the end of a lovely program. Without you, we cannot be. On behalf of the Dinner Now, good night, and everybody have a blessed week. Bye.